Hello, and welcome to the Star Wars Stuff podcast, where we talk about all things Star Wars. I'm Ray.
I'm
James.
David.
Oh, sorry. I messed up big time on that one. I'm sorry, guys. I always say beforehand we should plan out who's going to talk first, and I always mess it up. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Who's gonna talk? You're gonna talk. I talk.
Do I talk? Do I talk first?
You
You
talk
talk
first.
first.
You talk first.
You know, I remember a lot of people were mad that that's how it started. They were like, "That's weird humor for Star Wars," and I was like, "Have you looked at the humor in Star Wars? Like, it's
Yeah.
really strange." You know, George Lucas's humor was really weird, but I don't know. You have to adapt to new generations. But anyways, let's get to the podcast, David. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, we are gonna talk about religion. So there's a bunch
politics.
My
of.
favorite.
So yeah, Alex Webster on our Facebook group. He put some pillows in this.
I love that picture so much. Ooh.
Says, "Excuse me, sir, if you're audio only here. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior C-3PO?"
And it's two Ewoks holding a pamphlet with C-3PO on there, and it says "Awake" on there. It is amazing.
Okay, but now I need one of those, but it's Colin talking about Max Rebo.
Oh, jeez. And it's just a picture of it's like a drawing of Colin standing there holding a picture of Max Rebo.
Don't tempt me, because I will.
I think you should. I think you should
it's
do that.
happening.
One of my favorite memes I've ever seen, and I always I never save it. It's the picture of on Mustafar. It's Anakin on one hand with the lightsaber in his teeth, like because he doesn't have his other arm or his legs, and then he's in the background, and then it's Obi-Wan Kenobi like this running away from him, like because he's like, there's no way I'm gonna fight this guy. It just always cracks me up. Anyways, so besides religion and politics, what else are we going to talk about today?
So all of us will be at Celebration Anaheim 2022, and we will all finally meet each other in person. Me and
I'm
James
so
haven't seen each
excited.
other in a while.
I haven't
But
seen.
yeah, we've
yeah.
never met Ray in person, so that'll be pretty awesome. So, and of course, we have a ton of merch to hand out. So if you see us,
a lot of merch.
if you find one of us, most of us, I think, will be wearing something Star Wars stuff related: t-shirt, maybe a mask. I don't know, and maybe have a pin on our backpack or person. So yeah, find us and of course talk to us. Tell us what you want to tell us about the podcast. We've been getting several people chime in on social media saying that, yeah, definitely, if we find you, we definitely want to trade coins, trade pins. So I'm super looking forward to that. We've never brought merch to a celebration. So
yeah, last year,
or did we in 2019?
All we had were stickers. We had
Okay,
stickers.
okay.
That's it. We were like, oh, we're so cool. We have stickers for the podcast. And then we see everyone else. We're like, oh man, we have nothing. Like we just, I don't know. So this year we were like, we're prepared. Shout out to who we got here. We got Mateo, Maka, and Crash Test Wookie. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Hello. Just before we start, I got my celebration shirt came in the mail yesterday, and I'm so excited. This is the first of 2 Star Wars shirts I ordered for celebration, and I'm probably gonna buy a lot more once I'm there.
So yeah, of course, yeah, obviously merch is being shipped out. I checked my mailbox. I still don't have it. I'm in South Texas. James, of course, is in Anaheim. He can see the convention center from his window.
Yeah, it's right.
So
there.
yeah,
it's, right there. It's a little further away, but it's practically right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm expecting the Clone Wars 20th anniversary hat in my mailbox anytime soon. So. And of course, the celebration badges too. Those should be mailed out. You didn't get that, did you?
No, I did not, but I freaked myself out because I had the shirt and I threw everything away, and then and then I went to Disneyland last night. I'm talking to a friend, and they're like, "Yeah, I haven't got anything in the mail yet." And I was like, "Yeah, I got the shirt." She's like, "Was the badge in there?" And I was like,
"Oh no!"
Was it? I came home. Luckily, it was not. But just if you do get any celebration stuff, just be sure to check the package because you don't want to throw away that badge. What do you think? Okay, this is off topic. each year they have different design, different characters. Like, which characters do you think they're going to put on the badges this year?
You would think maybe Disney Plus characters
Yeah,
because they're going to
like
lean heavily
Mando.
into that. Yeah. What if it's stuff that they're about to announce and we're just going to be all puzzled and look at these like people like, who are
I
they?
can't see them doing that at all. Like, I could not see Lucasfilm doing that.
Why not? I mean, if you have like Stellan Skarsgård and Andor, I mean, why don't you just have his like character revealed on a badge?
Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. That would be cool, but I'm going to say that's probably not going to happen. But I will
Yeah,
say
probably
that
not.
this poster design, which you had in the background earlier, is no sequel trilogy of any kind. So that's kind of
Interesting.
there's not a single character from the sequel trilogy on the Celebration poster. So I don't know what Lucasfilm, I think they're scared of the negativity that the sequel trilogy got, but I don't know. But I noticed at the moment I saw that poster. But anyways,
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe there might be a sequel trilogy panel. I mean, it's all done, it's complete. Daisy Ridley's back on social media, like we talked about before. I mean,
The queen has
John.
returned.
yes.
I mean, John Boyega. I think he's wanting to kind of come back to Star Wars. That's just my feeling. I mean,
Did you see that clip of him with Oscar Isaac, and they're talking about the "they fly now" bit? And
yeah.
he's just like, he goes, Finn would know. And Poe's like, well, he hasn't, maybe he hasn't been in the First Order for a long time. And under his breath, Boyega was like, it was in the Clone Wars. Like, like they have jetpacks. It was so funny. I was like,
Well,
Boyega's a
I
cool
mean,
guy.
I think I have an argument for that for that line being in there. I mean, he's a young guy that didn't unless he saw like training videos or something like archive stuff. They didn't have
Okay.
jetpacks in the First Order, right? We all saw it, but there's no like
He wasn't watching the
universe
Clone
news,
Wars
right? I mean,
cartoon
yeah. So how's
before.
he really gonna know it? It's just like that whole kind of like thing that's in Star Wars where we all saw Luke and Vader fight. No one else really saw that other
Yeah.
than us, Vader, Luke, and Palpatine. In the Return of the Jedi, it's like no one knows what really happened. So
True. I know we keep getting off topic. All right, David, put us back on topic, David. I'm sorry. Stay on target.
So here's the topic I want to talk about first. Ewan McGregor is officially announced as being a guest for Anaheim Celebration 2022.
Yes.
He will be signing autographs, and of course, he will be doing photo ops with if you have $299 plus tax.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And David, did you do that?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
I have a whole second job that I do. I deliver pizza on the side just so I can
so you could
support
get
my
Ewan
Star
McGregor's
Wars addiction. So yeah.
I could barely afford the flight.
Yeah, I'm a madman. But
yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, so he's showing up.
That's amazing. I mean, we all
I'll
kind
definitely
of
tell him something.
Yes, please tell him anything. Tell him to record something for us to put on the podcast. I'm just kidding. He'd never do that. But
I actually did that with Katie Sackhoff, and
she
told me no. She said she goes, anything I do like that, Lucasfilm has to approve it first. So I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, well, funny thing, I am a part of Lucasfilm right now, so this is kind of work, That's funny.
Yeah, it was in the midst of COVID, though. She had like a big face shield, and then there's like a plastic divider, and
okay.
I mean, she was trying. Like, I was in a long line of like signings to get her autograph in Houston at Comic Palooza. So, but I mean, she was awesome. I mean, she was cheerful. She seemed happy to be there. But and I was supposed to, of course, go to Celebrity Fan Fest in San Antonio, Texas, and then I think Ewan and Hayden canceled, and Owen Wilson was supposed to be there as well. He canceled, so they just shut the whole thing down. And yeah, but
But so I mean, we all kind of suspected Ewan to be there for Kenobi, but it's really cool that he's actually going to be signing autographs as well and taking pictures with everybody. And you can't do it now. Like, I think they're all sold out, right? All the times.
I think all the autographs are sold out, I
Gotcha.
believe. But he's only doing it. It was announced for Friday and Saturday, but of course, Celebration is 4 days long, and I
Yeah.
believe that same format was done for Celebrity Fan Fest, and they opened up Thursday and Sunday because the demand was so huge. But this time around, I don't know. And of
Yeah,
course,
who
we
knows?
have we're all fully expecting that Hayden is gonna sign and take
He
pictures
has
as
to be there.
well.
He has to be there.
And they might be reserving one of those days for maybe a group picture with Hayden and Ewan. And
Ooh.
of course, if that happens, I'm gonna have to do that too. So
Jesus Christ. That'd be and then also Kelly Marie Tran and Billy Lord were also announced as guests.
yeah,
There she is. I would pay for I don't know if it's already booked, but I would get an autograph. I don't do autographs because I'm always like, what do I say? I always feel so awkward when I'm there. I'm like, thanks, and walk away. So that's why I don't do it, which is
if
kind
you
of
can host a
stupid.
podcast, you can get an autograph, James.
All right.
I love Kelly Marie Tran.
She's the best. She's the absolute best. And were there any other guests? I mean, last week y'all talked about there's a lot of other guests that were announced. So I'm pretty sure as it goes further on, we're going to be getting a lot more people showing up. Like, how crazy would it be if Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac were announced? It's not going to happen, but it would be pretty cool if it did.
I would pass away.
I'm not.
So yeah, at the time of this recording, I'm on Official Pix's website right now, and it says Ewan McGregor is totally sold out for Friday and Saturday for autographs and pictures. But there are a slew of other people that you can get autographs and pictures with: Amy Allen, Anthony Daniels, Ashley Eckstein, Billy Lord, Kerry Jones, Carl Weathers, Daniel Logan, D. Bradley Baker, Dickie Beer, Emily Swallow, Giancarlo Esposito, Ian McDermott, Jet Lucas, Jonas Swatamo, Katie Sackhoff, Katie O'Brien, Kelly Marie Tran, Kevin Thompson, Margot Aspatolos, Matt Lanter, Michelle Ang, Omid Abtahi, Orly Shoshan, Sam Whitwer, Tim Rose. There's a team up with Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lanter, and there's another team up with D. Bradley Baker, Ashley Eckstein, and Matt Lanter.
Oh
and
my
that's
gosh!
it so far. Yeah,
I could just see Colin losing his mind if he got to be there at that one. He's just crying. The picture's just him crying. He's like, this is the best. You know? That'd be pretty great. So yeah, celebrations are around the corner, and of course, if you follow us on Facebook, you'll see what we keep posting all the updates as they come along because it's getting exciting. This is where the fun begins. We're almost a month out, so.
Oh, don't stress me out like that. I still haven't finished my costumes.
We believe in you, Ray. We totally believe in you. You got this.
I have to get Sabe done because Colin is planning to bring his Anakin, and I need chaotic photos of his Anakin in my Sabe.
Did y'all know he was doing Anakin, or did it just happen?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, you knew? Okay, because I saw him with the wig, and then I was like, "What's the wig for?" And then I saw the pictures, and I was like, "This guy, this guy, he's awesome." But yeah.
And I want to say that Colin told me in line in 2017 that he wanted to cosplay Anakin. So now he's realized it into reality. Yeah, it's happening.
Beautiful.
He'll be there. And I think just about every one of us has some type of cosplay.
Not me.
I think you do, James.
What is it? What's my cosplay? Don't you
I
dare
thought
post
you
a
and Colin
picture.
were doing
Podcast
something.
host?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Colin and I
See, he remembers now.
We're gonna do something. It's like super like nerdy and a deep cut. Like nobody's gonna have any idea who we are. But if you ride Smuggler's Run at Galaxy's Edge, you'll know who we are. But that's about it.
You're gonna be cast members?
Well, I mean, we're gonna have vests similar to it, but like different colors. And yeah. Should I say it? I know it sounds stupid that I'm all keeping it a secret. It's not even a big secret.
I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, it's your costume.
So before you go into it's not any secret, so Colin can't get mad at me for this one. But before you go into the ride, there's two voices that speak over the loudspeaker, and it's Gar and Malta, and they just kind of go back and forth throughout while you're in the queue, only so you can be entertained while you're in the queue, but nobody listens to these guys at all. So Colin was like, "Oh, what if we could be Gar and Malta?" I'm like, "Yeah, but no one's gonna have any idea who we are because nobody pays attention." So yeah, that's gonna be my cosplay at Celebration. So
Perfect.
excited.
But see, I think people are going to come up to you and ask you who you are, and then you can kind of explain it. And
Yeah,
they're
not
going
in
to be like, "Oh my
character.
gosh, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Ever seen someone play Gar Malta before?" So
We're
I think it's
geniuses.
pretty cool.
It was Colin's
Yeah.
idea. He's the genius, not me. I was just like, yeah, sounds like a good idea.
I mean, tomorrow I'm going to go and pick up the individual comic that has the cover that stole my face, and I'm going to carry it around with me while I'm in costume at Celebration.
That's the best.
Just hunting down the cover artist.
Whoever it
Just
was,
be
be
like,
like, why did you do this?
I
Why
need
did you
to
steal my
know.
face?
Was this intentional? Because I know it was. Don't lie to me.
And what happens if this person says yes, it was intentional? What are you gonna do?
Probably pass away from joy. The fact that for a small sliver of the universe, I was canonically Sabe. That is the dream.
That's amazing. That's
incredible.
That's incredible to think about.
It started out as a joke, but it actually ended up happening. I told my friend Michelle that I was going to print business cards of me as Sabe and stick them in the back of every like Disney executive's pocket that I could find at Celebration. But I actually ended up getting business cards with a photo of my Sabe because I won't be able to bring the royal croissant with me. So I will have those as well. But
do you think you could I know we should have talked about this later. Could you ship it to me and then I could have it here for you and then just give it to you? Or is it so crazy that you don't even want to chance that something
No, I
happened
wouldn't trust it in the mail.
Okay. Yeah, just saying. Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Well, if you bubble wrap it entirely, then put it in like a box that has like bubble wrap in it, and then put like styrofoam peanuts and then put that in a box.
The anxiety, man.
My apartment would just explode with all this stuff. I'd open up and like, whoa. Then I pull it out. It's in pristine condition. Nah, I'm just kidding. But somebody said you are canon Sabe to us. So there you go, Ray. You are canon Sabe.
I have had people message me and say that when they read the Queen's Hands, the Padme trilogy, they can only picture me as Sabe.
That's beautiful.
I'm like, I've peaked.
And your TikToks are also very, very awesome as well. If you don't follow her on TikTok. She posts her cosplay, and it's really, really cool.
Which I use a lot of Elmo versus Rocco audio with my Sabe because canonically now, from the Queen's Hope, Anakin and Padme have a Elmo and Rocco relationship. And that is my I've peaked.
Awesome. Well,
unless Lucasfilm wants to like hire me to be Sabe, then I will have peaked.
We're just gonna put that out there. I know somebody from Lucasfilm has to hear this, so
I mean they brought Max Rebo back, so
yeah, that was all Colin. That was 100% Colin. You know that. Speaking of Lucasfilm and Disney Plus and all that, Andor, we just got some. Okay, this fact about Andor kind of weirded me out because they came out and said it's going to be 3 seasons, but it was originally 5 seasons. Is that correct?
Right. So the cinematographer spoke with a I think a Spanish news outlet and kind of spilled the beans there. He said it was supposed to be originally 5 seasons, but they've changed it down to 3, and there was no reasoning given. But that seems like that is what actually is the case. So we found out that Andor is, I think at one point it was 1 season totally shot. Then another point it was 2 seasons that were shot and just cut in half by 6 episodes. So we're gonna have a 6-episode first season, 6-episode second season, and then a third season with however many episodes. I guess it would be 6 again. But apparently, yeah, we were gonna get more seasons, so they would have had to have some type of huge story arc, and apparently it's gonna be 5 years before Rogue One, the events of Rogue One. So we're gonna get a slew of new characters. I mentioned Stellan Skarsgård before, and yeah, he'll be in it. I know Fiona Shaw's in it, and there are tons and tons of leaked photos. I mean, nothing that gives away too much, but I mean, they're using massive green and blue screen walls on production of that show, and they're filming it not in the volume. They're filming it well, not entirely in the volume, if they are, because nobody, I don't think, really knows. They're using huge sets. It's basically like a film, the
Yeah.
way Lucasfilm would traditionally treat a film. So it's a really big undertaking, and the kind of the thing that kind of juxtaposes the whole thing is that it's the series that's flying under the radar the most. It seems like
Yeah.
between Mando season 3 and Boba Fett at the time, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course. But it seems like Andor is where Lucasfilm is like putting all of its bets on to be a big hit. And which, I mean, Rogue One is getting better with age. It's getting increasingly better than most of the Star Wars films. I think we said all the Star Wars films do get better with age, but it seems like Rogue One has really, really aged well. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get something huge with Andor, and I think people are, like I said, it's flying under the radar, and they're not expecting a whole lot from it. But I think it's gonna have a very original trilogy feel, and will kind of satisfy that part of us that wants to be back in that era of Star Wars.
And this screams Rebels. This screams Rebels storyline stuff happening where you bring in some original trilogy, you bring in some prequel trilogy characters, and you just start sprinkling them throughout. And it- I've been saying this since day one. I think, and you agreed with me, David. I think Andor was going to surprise a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to watch it and then be like, "Whoa, this is pretty good." It's just shocking that they were going to do 5 seasons of this thing because part of me is like, how can you do like, it's cool, it's great, but how can you do 5 seasons of this timeline? What do you think, Ray? Like,
I
or the
almost
original plan?
wonder
Yeah.
I almost wonder if, like, they have content for 5 seasons, but they were gonna be shorter seasons, and they decided to, like, compress them. So, like, there's more episodes per season now, kind of a thing.
Okay.
That's my guess. Because, like, I know with Marvel, Loki was supposed to be just 1 season, but they ended up splitting it into 2. So, I don't know if they're kind of doing something similar where they're just instead of having a lot of short seasons, they're keeping it closer together. So
Okay,
it's
I see what you mean.
longer, fewer seasons.
What do you think, David?
Well, there's an article on StarWarsNewsNet.com where it kind of addresses the whole like kind of back and forth with how many episodes are going to be per season. It says it's possible the series will ultimately have the same total number of episodes that they initially planned, which was 12. Since the norm for a live action Disney Plus show to this point has ranged from 6 to 8 episodes per season,
Yeah,
the
that's
first
long.
season of Andor reportedly checks in at 12 episodes. It is also possible the creative team realized they didn't need as much time as initially thought to tell the story they want to tell. Either way, it sounds like Lucasfilm is confident enough in the series if they are willing to strike at a future for the project, which has a second season already in development. And the breaking news for that is so far that the second season of Andor has been greenlit as far as the public knows. Andor is said to resume filming this fall for its second season, which should be
Wow.
around or shortly after the same time of the first season airs. Hopefully, Star Wars Celebration will provide some clarity on the future of the series and other projects in the pipeline. So
That's a
they
quick
might be back.
turnaround.
Yeah, they might be back to a 12 episode season, which will be awesome for us because we want more Star Wars.
Of
And then,
course.
of course, if they do another 12 or even just give us 6, I mean, it seems like they've had that story in the can for a while and they're extremely happy about it. So I think that's just good things for us.
That's a pretty quick turnaround to already go back into production in fall for season 2 because I'm pretty sure they finished like what, a couple of months ago, pretty much like maybe 6 months ago they finished, and now they're like, come right back, we're gonna do it again. Um, that's a good question. Do you think Andor season 1 will come out first or Bad Batch season 2? If how they're promoting this, I think Andor's gonna come second. I think Bad Batch will be first before Andor. Because I think also Bad Batch may introduce some stuff that will lead into Andor as well. I mean,
What I've seen online is people think that we're gonna get right after Kenobi, we're gonna get Andor in like the July October timeframe, and then somehow we're gonna get Bad Batch right after that, and then Mando season 3 right after that before the year ends. But
okay.
I don't know. I don't think anyone really firmly knows when Bad Batch season 2 is going to come out. But like the article says, Celebration should clarify a lot of scheduling. So
Yes.
hopefully, and of course, D. Bradley Baker is going to be there signing autographs, taking pictures, and I don't think it's been announced yet. But has it been announced a Bad Batch panel?
No.
Apparently, that's a rumor. So that's going to happen either Friday or Saturday. Apparently, or no. David Collins is going to host it right on Sunday.
I don't know that.
I was gonna say, I thought I remembered seeing something.
Yeah, I think David Collins is actually going to do it. If you could help us out in chat, Bad Batch season 2. Yeah, Bad Batch season 2. I think it's technically in the can. They're just waiting for the right time to just drop it.
Yeah, and then now that they've pushed Kenobi to all of June, they're making way for something for July. Like they're making way for something in July. It's just which one is it going to be? I am wondering if we're going to get our season 3 of Mando this year. Everything's kind of pointing towards that, but I'm also kind of nervous we're not going to get that season 3 of Mando this year. So I think if they were cool and smart, which sometimes they are, Andor would probably finish off the year. I think that'd be a pretty good way to finish it off.
I think I feel more confident that that's actually going to happen by the end of this year, by the calendar year.
What, Mando season 3?
Yes, I think we're going to get all in 1 year, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Bad Batch season 2, and Mando season 3. So
you're crazy.
Disney Plus shows all in one calendar year. Yeah.
That would be pretty intense, though. The moment they announced that it would be a spy thriller. Yeah, plus it's Tony Gilroy is the show. Is he the showrunner or is he just a producer and writer on it? Because I know that
think
it
he's
went
all
back
three.
and forth. Yeah. Tony Gilroy's no joke. I mean, this guy, he wrote all the Bourne movies. He directed one of the Bourne movies, and he also wrote and directed a movie I love called Michael Clayton, which has nothing to do with spy and espionage, but it's an awesome movie. And the fact that he just came in 11th hour for Rogue One, it was like, all right, I got this. And which at the time we didn't think that was the case, but as the years are going on, we're finding out that that's exactly what happened. That he came in and was like, all right, I'm going to start finishing in this movie for you all the way it should be. And he's not a Star Wars fan, which I think made it kind of intriguing. Was he was just like, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I just know how to write a good story. And that's what he did.
Yeah. And he did it awesomely. That's one of the mysteries, I think, that one of the great mysteries of Star Wars, that and what that original footage of Solo was. How did it look?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, some stories might be like super hyperbolic in the fact that Tony Gilroy had to save Rogue One, but something tells me that's just not the case. I mean, I think maybe they were unsatisfied with the way the movie was kind of cut together in the end, and they needed a few more shots. I don't know, but it came out great. And of course, I think everyone has all the confidence in the world with Tony Gilroy. But the funny thing is, he will state to everyone, I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, he like, always. Ray, what did you think about Rogue One? I've never had this conversation with you, but what did you think about Rogue One?
I really liked it. I don't know that I've watched it more than once, and I watched it in theaters, I believe.
Okay.
And I don't remember a lot of it. I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, a lot of people I speak to will say that that is better than almost every Star Wars movie. Somebody I spoke to the other day was like, it's his favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One.
It has a very original trilogy feel to it.
Yeah.
And I remember like just being fascinated watching Tarkin and Leia at the end because it was all digital. It was just stunning how amazing the tech was.
It was pretty good. I always tell people, like, for me, I don't like the first act of the movie, but it's after the whole Forrest Whitaker sequence, the movie just gets like I don't want to say that, but it just gets like a million times better because the movie really picks up when Jeddah explodes. Like then the movie's like boom, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. That whole first part, I'm like, oh my gosh, just get through this, come on. But that's another one I haven't watched in a while. I have to go back and watch it. I was at work the other day. I'm not giving away anything. Anyways, I was at work the other day, and the show they had it on. It was on like TBS in the break room, and it was funny. Everybody was just sitting there watching it. Like nobody was talking like they usually do in the break room. Everybody was just, and I was like, this is great. I'm in Galaxy's Edge watching Star Wars in a costume with other people watching. It was really funny. But I was just looking at it going, this is pretty good. It's a lot better than I remember it being. And so I think Andor, like I said, is going to surprise a lot of people. Okay, what do we got? Definitely loved Rogue One. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It definitely makes me want to immediately watch A New Hope right after Rogue One. Yes, I remember when it was over, I was almost in tears just because Leia says hope at the end, and I was like, A New Hope. Oh my gosh! Like I'm
Ah!
freaking, I'm like about to scream and yell. Like, and I saw it with my wife, and she was like, "It was cool," and I'm over here like, "Oh, like, oh, what do you mean it was cool? Like that was the best. That was the best way to end the movie." Um, but yeah, that's a good one. So Andor this year is happening, and we're definitely going to get a trailer at Celebration. Like we're going to get a trailer, possibly a poster, those little itty bitty posters, the one that the Carrie Fisher one behind David there, that size. Yeah. Oh, good job. You did it the right way. I'm always like,
I know the mirror effect on this video, not a visual medium, is really difficult.
and so Ray, there will be a lottery system this year, so just hope you get into all of them, or we all get into all of them, because it's going to be a nightmare. Because all these panels that we're talking about, Bad Batch, the future projects, Andor, Kenobi, it's like this is all good. Like we all want to be in each and every one of these panels. Do you think we'll be able to sneak us all in?
I mean, the miracle of me going to Celebration happened, so
It's gonna happen, yeah.
who knows?
And in case you don't know, we snuck in. Which I think this is why we didn't get the panel.
I didn't sneak in. I won the pan.
I think we. I think they don't like us because we snuck. We snuck.
Well, here's the thing,
Colin.
guys. Let me put it this way. So Colin and I, did Colin win?
No, Colin. No, you're talking about the episode
Okay.
9 panel. No,
Yeah, the
Colin
episode
did not
9
win.
panel. Yeah.
You and I were the only two.
Okay, so James and I won the lottery, and of course we had Joseph, Colin, and
Chris.
and Chris.
Chris was there. Yeah.
And I think Mike as well, one of our friends from Celebration, he was there, and we were communicating via Messenger, and we were shocked at how many open seats there were. And then as soon as we sat down, the couple next to us turns to us and says, "Hey, I don't know what this is. Is this like a big panel or something?" And we just like looked at him and like stared at him for like a moment. We're like, "This is like the panel that we've been waiting for years."
Yeah.
The last Saga film Star Wars panel, and probably what we got with the new trailer, the title announcement. We were so like just hyped up, and of course it was a shame that like more than half of our friends didn't get in, but they were right outside and there were so many empty seats, and we were like, just try and get in. I mean, we were just sitting there kind of waiting, and it was about to start, and I don't know who told them, but we're just like, well, just try to get in. I mean, what's the worst that'll happen? I mean, are they going to arrest you? I mean, come on. So I
What's
think
the
it
worst
was
that could happen? They deny you a podcast panel.
So yeah, that's what happened. And so I think they showed the people their requests for entrance or something, and they're like, okay, come in, and they just came in. So I mean,
And they even got the beanie and everything. And if you watch our coverage, of it, Joseph walks in like nothing. And I'm like, how are you? He goes, I'm good. I'm good. And he just sits down, but he was freaking out that he got in there because he wasn't supposed to be in there.
but you got to understand though, there was so many empty seats
Yeah.
even after they came in, and it was a little shocking. And
that they
I know
didn't.
you see it
Yeah,
on YouTube, it looks like it's a full packed house. It wasn't. At least on the sides where we were sitting. And we
yeah,
were
on our
like
side.
fortunate that our seats got kind of assigned in that area because we were actually closer to the stage as if rather than like sitting in front of the stage in the back behind like all the Jedi VIP people and the media
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I kind of like smirked at the VIP people. I was like, "Yeah, you get to sit there, but I'm actually closer to the stage than you are." That like there was one particular person there. I was like, "Yeah, that's right. We're cooler than you are." I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say who it was, but we were talking. We were talking about this person before we started. But but yeah. So back to celebration. What other news do we have, David? I actually have the notes
So
here too.
the other news we have is that Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, will be on another magazine cover.
Ah, that looks beautiful.
Pretty cool, right?
Look at the lightsaber.
Oh man.
Do you
Okay, I
have the
looked
pic?
at it.
Do you have the other picture of the? There it is. Oh, that's the one I want to get. That is just gorgeous.
So yeah, so it's a picture if you're just listening on audio. It's a picture of Obi-Wan's lightsaber, essentially from A New Hope, and it looks a lot like Luke's from Return of the Jedi. And I never really put that together until like later
Well,
in my life that it's
well,
basically like the
no,
the same design.
it is the lightsaber though. They just
Yeah,
painted.
pretty much is.
Well, no.
Yeah.
From what I've heard from Mark Hamill in his interviews, he said they literally used Alec Guinness's prop and they just repainted it. That's what I've heard. No, don't say that. It's bad. It's a bad language. But yes, that is effing Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ray, can you see the comments on there? Can you see the comments
Yes.
on your? Okay, good. Making sure. I don't want to be like. I don't want you to be like. How are you reading these things? But anyways, but yeah. So that's why the lightsabers always look the same. Is because from what Mark Hamill said it was the Alec Guinness lightsaber. They just repainted it and repurposed it for him, and it was supposed to be blue, obviously, but they changed it to green. But anyways, looks beautiful. Jeez.
Yeah, it definitely
Okay.
does. So,
Uh-oh.
Off topic completely, but the little bit I know of Norse mythology, that bubble says Tom Hiddleston on Hamlet, horses in his Loki life, and you put horses and Loki in the same line. I can't keep horses and Loki very far away from each other. I'm dead.
Thank you, Ray, for pointing that out to us. If you're watching on YouTube, yeah, you can see it. But I was too busy looking at the quote on the thing, not Tom Hiddleston and Loki and horses. Ewan McGregor said, "When Darth Vader was coming at me, it scared the explicative out of me." So that sounds
wow.
really cool. That sounds really, really cool, actually. Man. So like this is not a fever dream. Like this is really gonna happen. We're really gonna get Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, and they're actually gonna fight. They're actually gonna be in a scene. There's gonna be dialogue. This is really gonna happen, and it just hasn't hit. Oh, there it is.
But wait,
But wait,
does Obi-Wan know that Vader is Anakin?
I think this is what what David? Why are you laughing?
It almost sounded like Ray was going to be like, but wait, does Obi-Wan die?
But did you die?
Just kidding. But
No,
I don't believe he dies now.
I hope it doesn't start with him already knowing that Vader is Anakin.
I see.
I hope we see him discover that, because I mean, for all he knows, or for
Anakin's
all he
dead.
should know, Anakin died on Mustafar.
I think there's going to be this really cool scene with him figuring it out, and I think Yoda is somehow going to be involved in that scene as well, of both of them trying to figure out what's going on, why they're sensing something else more sinister happening, and the one thing I love is whenever it's like, yeah, Darth Vader he just showed up out of nowhere after the Clone Wars ended, and I like how that's how they think about it. He showed up after the Clone Wars, and you're like, oh, who was he? Well, apparently he was a Clone War. He was in the Clone Wars. He was a general, but nobody realizes that it's Anakin. And so I think it's going to be the coolest reveal in this episode, in this show, whenever we find out that Kenobi realizes that it's Anakin. And
Well,
so
I know in the Vader comics, when Sabe is in them, she says something about how both Padme and Anakin died on Mustafar, and she believes, or they believe, that Vader killed Anakin and Padme. So I
oh,
don't think it's a very widely known fact
I
that
like this fact.
they're 2 in 1. At least Sabe and the Amidalans do not know that Anakin is Vader.
Yeah, I don't think hardly anybody in the galaxy knows who it is.
Yeah.
And that's the most fascinating thing I've heard right now, is that they think Vader is the one who killed Anakin and Padme. Like that's the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That makes it more interesting. That makes it like, ooh, this is gonna be
Which
good.
is
Yeah.
which is why Sabe went after Vader, because her mission is to take out whoever murdered Padme.
Liam Neeson does a voiceover to tell Obi-Wan to search his feelings and reveal the truth about who Vader actually is. And I mean, that'd
Is that
be
in the
cool,
Clone
but-
Wars?
No. I think he's saying this is what's gonna happen. Like that's how they think that's gonna play out. I think it's gonna be cool to see that. And we just found out Liam Neeson said he would rather be in a movie, not in a TV show, so he's not gonna be in this. But
I think that's just like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, No Way Home.
I've heard so many actors lying. Like you saw the Patrick Stewart one, right?
Oh,
Like
he didn't even try. He was just like, "Oh yeah, that's my voice."
No. I thought Patrick Stewart, they were like, was that your voice in the Doctor Strange trailer? And he's like, who's Doctor Strange? And they're like, all right, we're just gonna leave it at that. And he just goes,
Oh, I thought I saw one where he was just like,
I
was
think he did
surprised they didn't
both.
show my face.
Yeah, I think he did
you
both.
hear my
I think he
voice.
revealed it. I think he did what you said, Ray. And then after that, he told another media outlet what James just said. So
who's
it's
Doctor Strange? My favorite bits, I know this is off topic, are like whenever they do interviews like that, and like the actor will like look off camera and they'll cut Kevin Feige just like staring at them, and they're just like, anyway, like when Tom Holland was watching the Spider-Man trailer, and you see him jumping toward the lizard, and
he says, "But wait, where's?"
He goes, "But wait, where's?" And somebody did a TikTok, goes, "But wait, where's?" And then it's just this slow like dissolve into Kevin Feige staring at him, and he just goes, "Okay," like he just. It's like that, yeah. But anyways, yeah. I
Kevin
think
Feige, I know you're listening. Come to Celebration, man. Hang out with
Please
us.
come to
Star Wars Stuff
Celebration.
Podcast. We'll give you a pin.
We'll give you a pin. We'll give you a bunch. We'll even give you magnets. All right. No one else can say that they can do that.
Give you some magnets. Designed by Ray herself.
Yay!
I'll design you specifically a magnet.
That'd be pretty cool. Him wearing a hat, wearing his hat there next to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast logo. But I think Liam Neeson was. I think he's in it. There's no way he's not in it, because they totally set him up in episode 3 that he's gonna be in. You know what I mean? Like it's happening.
Well, it could be that he technically isn't in it,
It's
but
his
his
voice.
voice is. Loopholes.
So how do you
Yeah,
mark that on the bingo card?
The voice of
I don't know.
Qui-Gon.
How do
But
I
if it
have
just
that on my
simply says
brain?
Qui-Gon Jinn,
I think it just says Liam Neeson, actually.
okay.
So
I
if
think-
if he is involved in it in any way, even if it's old audio, it gets crossed off.
He's in that
Alright,
movie
cool.
Cold Pursuit.
that was a good impression there, James.
Dude, no. What's his name? Josh. That was the greatest. Anyways, so what else? So Kenobi. Oh yeah, we're talking about Kenobi.
Yeah. So there is a report out that we are going to get some footage sometime this week. Not a trailer, but something along the lines of an ad or a commercial or something maybe on Disney Plus. I don't know, but apparently sources are saying that we're going to get something here within the next 3 days. It might even be Monday. It might be while you're listening to this. I mean, it might a lot of stuff that Disney does drops on Mondays.
But
So
why wouldn't they hold on to May the 4th? Like, why wouldn't they release on May the 4th?
well, a trailer could drop on May the 4th. They're just saying just footage. Like we're gonna see some new stuff. And there's something that we never spoke about, actually. There was a leak for a stunt, and it was between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. I'm guessing you guys never saw it, but it was really quick, really fast. It was basically Vader and Kenobi like clashing lightsabers, and Vader does like a force push on Obi-Wan, and he gets pulled by cables. So,
oh my god!
but of course, I mean, that's gonna happen. I mean, that's not.
I'm gonna be
something
crying
that's-
that whole I'm gonna be crying that whole thing because, like I said before, this is actually gonna happen. We are going to see this. Like, this isn't in my head for the past, since I was a kid. Like this is really gonna be a thing. So this is blowing me away. I can't stress
I
that
think I
enough.
actually do have a story that I'm about to talk about that might make you cry.
All right, you ready for this, Ray? Let's do it. Okay, let's go.
All right, you ready for that, or you want to talk about something else before
No,
we get
make
to
him
that
cry.
story?
You're a monster.
All right. Well, so we did talk about on the podcast that there was a rumor out there, and it's very appropriate that Ray is on this podcast, that the composer of the Loki series for Disney Plus was going to compose the music for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And apparently Lucasfilm has announced officially that Natalie Holt, who was a composer of Loki, is composing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yay!
That soundtrack is
And-
going to be amazing.
It's gonna be awesome.
The Loki soundtrack
And-
is amazing.
And she did give an interview, and she speaks a lot about her past with Star Wars, being a huge fan, and the significance of what it means to her to compose Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I'm going to read some of her excerpts here. She talks a lot about doing Obi-Wan Kenobi. So here we go. It's a lot, guys, so bear with me. So she says, well, I think I've just always been a huge Star Wars fan. I watched the original trilogy with my dad when I was 5 years old. So the music from John Williams basically narrated my childhood. E.T., Raiders, Jurassic Park. So yeah, my starting point was just being a huge fan of the music for the show already. I'm a violinist, and I come from an orchestral background. So I've been able to do something on an epic scale with these big forces. And the article states, this is from StarWarsNewsNet.com. And as a violinist, Holt also revealed that in addition to composing the score, she also played the violin in it. As we learned recently, Anthony Parthner was the conductor of the Obi-Wan score. Holt said when asked if she is performing too, she said, I do. Actually, I am singing and playing viola. And I'm also playing some violin in there. So yeah, I am performing on the score.
Wow.
Holt then explained that it was John Williams who approached Lucasfilm to write Obi-Wan's theme in the series, as he is the only legacy character he hasn't composed a theme for.
Wow.
And she says, Natalie Holt says, Obi-Wan is a legacy character that John hadn't written a theme for because Obi-Wan Kenobi died quite early in A New Hope. It's the only legacy character that John Williams hadn't done. So So John Williams spoke to Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and said, I just want to write Benny a theme. So who
Benny?
can deny him that? Yeah.
Oh my
he called him
God.
Benny.
Benny!
And he did. He wrote the Obi-Wan theme. And it just embodies the spirit of the show entirely.
Oh my god.
The article says she then described Williams' new theme as reflective and entirely appropriate. Natalie Holt said, it's reflective and it's just entirely appropriate. And it distills what the show is about in just the perfect way that John Williams can. It's wistful, but there's an element of hope to it. It's doing something new, and I think people are going to really be blown away by it.
Oh my god.
The article also says, when asked how Williams' contribution fit into her overall idea for the music of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Holt said the following. Holt said, for me, the tent poles are set out by John Williams. There are elements to the show that are new and fresh, and I've been able to have my own interpretation with elements that I can't reveal. So it's been glorious working with my hero and also bringing my own voice to the show. The article also states she also discussed collaboration process with series director Deborah Chow. The two spent days going through the footage right after Holt was signed on, discussing the different arcs of each character in the series and every major event. Natalie Holt says, Deborah and I met when she flew to London, and we spent 2 days watching through all the material. It wasn't fully cut together at that point, so we just spent that time together and talked through the journeys of all the characters and what needed to happen. We kicked off with 2 day intensive immersion into it. Deborah's just done such a fantastic job, and obviously Ewan's just delivering the performance of his career as well. I'm
Oof.
very excited for people to see it. The article states Holt then described in more detail the score, saying that it has more traditional approach to Star Wars music than The Mandalorian, but that didn't stop her from adding new elements too. Holt says, I think it's an emotional score, and it does have its roots in the Star Wars tradition, a little more than The Mandalorian does. We had a collection of 250 horns and flutes, and I used this hunting horn in the score. We're also blending the orchestra with some more modern synth sounds as well. It's definitely what we're used to and a few new elements. Also, the article has to say it's always a thing with Star Wars. Holt says this. It's always a thing with Star Wars finding that Dixieland piece in the cantina. It's taking things that we are familiar with on Earth and giving them a twist. So there's some of that with some instruments and some of the themes that we hear in the series. There are some new worlds that we are introduced to coming up with sound. Each world has its own character. Holt also revealed that she used some Eastern sounds as an influence from Hong Kong, for instance. This is not surprising, as the planet Dayu, in which part of the show will take place, has been described as a reminiscent of, reminiscent of Hong Kong, she said. Holt says there are some Latin influence in one of the planets. There's some Thai, Hong Kong sounds that are more Eastern, definitely. You take flavors from around the world and then try and turn them into something otherworldly. You're on Star Wars. You're scoring a planet. It has to have scale. The article says when composing music for the dark side, Holt says there is nothing like the hunting horn. She said the following when asked which instruments are the best to convey dark side themes. Holt says, well, there's the hunting horn. That sounds just, she shudders. You hear it and it does something. It stirs your guts. It's so haunting. And I was working with Brian Kilgore, the percussionist, who's got these incredible, unusual instruments. It's just jarring. Rhythmic texture that we've been playing around with. And she also says, because I'm a violinist, I've also been a big fan of James Ines, who's a Canadian soloist. I've been wanting to play with him on the scores for a long time. He happened to be in LA. She was lucky enough to be working with Chris Fogel as well, who was Ludwig Göransson's engineer and engineered The Mandalorian. He engineered my music and recorded it with me here. I was mixing it at Ludwig's studio. I'm such a huge fan of Ludwig as well. So it's been great to meet him and part of his journey. Finally, Holt confirmed that the score is now done, which means that the show is pretty much locked at this point. She said, I got to the end of the last episode. I've only just finished, and I just feel like I found my voice. It's taken a while to get there. Because you feel the paralysis at the beginning of like, oh my God, it's Star Wars. I feel sad to be stopping. I want to carry on. And of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi will start streaming its first 2 episodes May 27th during Celebration, exclusively on Disney Plus. And that's everything she said.
That is amazing. The fact that John Williams said, I haven't written a score for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, he
No, he
hasn't.
said Benny, and now
Oh,
I need
Benny.
a parody of Benny and the Jets.
Wow. Oh my. And somebody, they wrote, I'm even more excited for the show, and I don't even know how that's possible. Yeah, I'm more excited now hearing this. And the fact that we're going to get an orchestra and it's going to sound more of the original trilogy, like this is just holy cow.
And that's what kind of what we all envisioned, right? I mean, we all
Yeah.
envisioned something akin to what the original trilogy had for its composition, and now it's like kind of a confirmation that we're going to get something orchestral. There's going to be scale. There's going to be a theme for each planet. There's a Latin flair for one of the scenes or planets. Something Latin's
awesome.
cool. Yeah. But yeah. Hello
Oh,
from
hello.
Brazil.
Hello from
How's it
Brazil.
going?
Sorry we didn't get a chance to say hello earlier, but hello. Um, oh my gosh! So the hunting horn is it's like a French horn, uh, but without any vowels on it. It's just the one that loops around. And some cultures even do like the horns, the horn of like a goat or a cow, that that type of horn as well. So I'm wondering how she's gonna tie that in to the dark side sound, like how that's gonna sound. I love that John Williams' score for Benny will be new and hopeful as his first appearance as in A New Hope. I like what you did there. That's pretty good. But yeah, I was thinking, I was like, well, Han Solo doesn't have a theme. And I was like, yeah, he does. John Williams wrote the main theme for Solo.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's such a great song. And Leia and Luke and Vader, Anakin, like Padme, they all have
Ray.
Ray. I mean, especially Ray has her good main theme. Um, Kylo Ren, Rose Tico, which is the theme of, I love that theme of The Last Jedi. And yeah, you're like, Kenobi, Benny does not have a main theme. He was just Obi-Wan Kenobi. But it kind of makes me wonder how come he didn't write one for him in the prequels.
Yeah.
You got an explanation for that, David?
I don't. I do not know that.
Even Jar Jar had his own theme. I'm just gonna say that. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited now for this show. And we're almost a month away. We're just a couple of days from a month away. And it's gotta go by so quickly. Why are you laughing at the month thing? Why are you laughing at me?
Because we're trying to like justify talking about how close Celebration is by like, oh, it's a week and 4 days.
It's a week and 4 days from being 1
2
month
months
away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm not gonna
but
lie
yeah,
though.
honestly, I mean, it feels like Celebration's next weekend. That's
Yeah.
what it feels
Aggressive
like to me.
sewing begins.
for
While
me,
on the podcast.
she's over here. For me, I had to start getting in shape because I don't look too good right now. Luckily, this camera angle is doing a good job, and my beard is contorting my face the right way. So hopefully, when y'all see me at Celebration and we vlog, which we're gonna vlog every day, I'm gonna try to put together the videos after each day so you can see how we're doing. I'll look a lot better. I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna look a lot better when you see me. But right now, not so much. But in case you don't know, yeah, go on YouTube, check out our we vlogged all the days we were there in Chicago, and I had a lot of fun putting those together each night. It was really fun. And I don't know how looking back, I don't know how we had the energy to do any of what we did at Celebration because we were up so late every night and we got to there early every morning. It's just some weird high that you're on while you're there, I guess. It's Star
The
Wars.
best way I can describe it is, I mean, if you had a childhood where you thought you were gonna get like certain presents Christmas morning and you got them and it actually happened, that's the feeling that I have at Celebration. And it's a constant for 4 or 5 days or however long Celebration is. That's the way I feel. And it's like you're outside of reality
Yeah.
because everyone there is a Star Wars fan. Everyone there, you don't have to really worry about saying something that someone just doesn't totally get, you know? I mean, people were dropping CO Bibble jokes, you know? I mean, it was like insane.
That's a deep, deep cut, man.
I was like, and the guy that dropped the first joke I heard of CO Bibble is actually going to be on the show closer to Celebration. Craig,
Is
who
it
kind of
Craig?
was like instrumental in like bringing me into line and meeting Colin for the first
Oh,
time.
he was we met him in Chicago, right?
Yes, we had
I don't
dinner
think he liked me. I don't think he liked me at all. I'm just gonna say that. I don't think Craig liked me at all. But
So
anyways.
so yeah, we're like Celebration Star Wars friends, me and Craig. But the funny thing about our whole like friendship with him, he never told us that he has a podcast too. And he also never told us what he did as a day job.
What does he do as a day job?
He's a licensed therapist. So he's a marriage counselor.
Well, that's good to know.
So he never talked about that. He talked about being a stand-up comic, but he never talked about being and he has a pretty successful podcast too. So,
Now
but
I'm
yeah, he'll be
wondering,
on the show later on.
being a successful comedian is also attributed to him being a good therapist. He
Possibly.
just takes. So I heard this crazy story the other day. Listen to this one. Just kidding. That's terrible. That's terrible. But anyways, right there with you. We've been hitting the gym hard to be presentable for celebration. Well, good. I'm glad somebody's there. Somebody's there with me. Yeah, if you're listening on Facebook, you have to click. There's a certain link there where you click it and you give StreamYard permission to show your name so we can actually see who you are. I finally did that today. Like I clicked on it and I was like, oh, and I hit allow and I was like, oh, like I could have done that so long ago. Blue Milk Energy. Hopefully, Ray, you can go with us to. I mean, you've already been to Galaxy's Edge, but hopefully, we can all go to Galaxy's Edge while we're there at Celebration, and we could all go have a shot of blue milk. Maybe hit the cantina and be really bad for a few minutes while we're there.
I would love some blue milk.
Blue
I
milk.
love blue milk.
I love blue milk as well. And I went last night to Disneyland, but I forgot that it was the first day of the electrical parade. So it was like, oh, I couldn't even get to the back to Galaxy's Edge. So I just went to DCA and just hung out there the whole night. But I really wanted a blue milk and a Ronto. That was my goal, was to go to have dinner and have a Ronto wrap with some blue milk. And I did not get to do that. So that Celebration, though, we're going to do that. What else? What else we got today?
That's all the big stuff. There is a little bit of news on the Acolyte. Apparently, I got a picture here. It's going to be moved back, the shooting for Acolyte. And it looks like this report is from Bespin Bulletin. It looks like they got their information from a different source, the Illuminati. And they're describing the fact that the Acolyte has been pushed back filming from, I believe, May until October. So, yeah. So, James, help me out with this. Is the Acolyte going to be a Disney Plus show?
Yes.
Okay. I keep on getting it confused with the film and Disney Plus, but
I believe this is the Disney Plus show. The only one that's a movie so far that we know about is Rogue Squadron.
right. So yeah, so Leslie Headland is going to be the director for this, the showrunner for the Acolyte, which we all know is going to be in at the end of the High Republic era, and about 200 years before the Phantom Menace, and there's no one officially announced except for, I believe, for one actress, but any other kind of fine details on this Disney Plus show hasn't been released yet. But I think we're all expecting a huge kind of reveal and possibly Leslie to be on stage talking about this show. So hopefully we get more information, which I'm sure we will at Celebration. Hopefully big surprises too.
I think everyone's taking a break right now at Lucasfilm. Like this summer, they're actually going to relax, and because I don't know, I think they've been going hardcore for the past 2 years. Oh, hello, Darth Dangs. Hello, thank you for joining us. But yeah, I think because Andor's also going into production around that time as well. So I'm wondering if they're just telling everybody, hey, take a break, let's take a few months off, and then we'll jump right back into it at the end of the summer. Possibly. Hey.
Yeah, I think Acolyte is probably going to film in California.
Yeah,
and Andor's exclusively in original Pinewood, UK.
And I'll do my best to sneak onto the Acolyte set. Just want y'all to know that. I'm gonna try my hardest. I could just don't tell anybody. But anyways, because I work in Santa Monica, and that's only just a couple of minutes away from LA, so I could just swing right over there. They won't even know. They won't even see me. Anyways.
Yeah, I know J.J. Abrams has his Bad Robot office in Santa Monica, and it's actually an old typewriter manufacturing warehouse.
Of course it is.
And he said when he moved in Bad Robot, he left up all the old signage and stuff, so you don't know it's Bad Robot.
I love it.
So when you enter, it's like you get shocked.
Watch, I work next door to it. I don't even realize like it's right there.
Probably you'll see JJ.
Like, it's like, oh hey, how you doing? But anyways, what else was that? It for all the news? Do we do a
Yeah, that's
successful
pretty much
podcast?
all the major news. Yeah.
Nice. That was pretty good. I think we did pretty good. Ray, do you have anything to add?
I just finished reading Queen's Hope.
How was it?
It was really good. It was really emotional.
Oh no.
It was really good though.
You'll have to do a Patreon episode and do a book review of that.
Ooh.
I think you should do, because I need to know all about it too. I think you need to do the timeline of that series of books. Like, please do that while you're knitting and sewing. I think you should do an episode or two for Patreon so we can hear that. What do you think, David?
That sounds like a plan.
That sounds like the best. Yeah, I think you need to do that. Please.
I mean, if I can find time between like the 6 or 7 jobs I'm balancing right now.
Yeah, you're
love
very
to.
busy, very busy. But yeah, I would love.
After celebration, it should all calm down.
Okay,
I've got
cool.
a lot of like time sensitive projects right now. But once those are done, which is usually probably going to be around the end of May, I should have a lot more time, and I would absolutely love to do that.
And what's Darth? Yeah, it's all cool. Yeah, just be sure to listen tomorrow. We'll have this up, and it's probably gonna be on YouTube. And Tim says that you need to do a book review in full Sabe cosplay.
I can do that.
Okay, she can do that. Awesome. Oh, somebody just asked us. There it is.
Oh, it's so good. And I was able to, so for my birthday, I received a pre-order copy. So it is autographed by E.K. Johnston.
Oh, wow.
So
nice.
Awesome. That's pretty great.
Pretty excited about that.
So I have a question for you, Ray. So since
Yes.
you've read the entire novel, A Queen's Hope, by E.K. Johnston, there is a certain passage inside of the book. Maybe you remember it. There was a reference to a children's song that was being sung.
You mean the oddly I think it's like oddly upbeat song about predatory fish?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the ship that engineer is on, who sings that song, is I don't know how you pronounce it because it's Star Wars, but it looks like the Nemrello. And they are transporting rum, sugar, and tea. Nemrello is Wellerman backwards. The sea shanty.
Oh.
The Wellerman brings sugar and tea and rum.
Interesting.
So
But
you've
going
got
back to that
Baby Shark, and
so Baby Shark
sea
is canon in
shanties
Star Wars.
are in Star Wars.
Wait, are you joking? Are you?
Would you like me to go upstairs and grab the book and read the passage?
Do we have? Yeah, let's do that before we leave. Let's do that. We'll sing a song while you're gone, Ray. Oh, there she goes.
We'll address this question from
there we
Matt
go. Yes.
Here. What happened to the Lando show?
What did happen to the Lando show?
I think we're gonna get more details at Celebration. It seems like Donald Glover did an interview, and I think we addressed this a couple podcasts ago that he was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and Jimmy Kimmel said, "Well, when you're coming back to Lando, right?" And Donald Glover didn't say exactly yes or no. He just kind of said, "Hey, you're saying all my business, aren't you?" I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of the attitude he had towards that. So I know we have, I think his name is Justin Simeon. He is on board to create the Lando show. So hopefully we do get a big announcement on that. So,
and I know that Glover just finished like season 4 of Atlantic, right?
No, Atlanta.
I apologize. Atlanta. So I'm thinking he was probably a little busy last year because he writes, produces, I think even directs, and like he does like that show is him, which is incredible. He's a very insanely talented guy. But of course, when you're insanely talented, you are in charge of all of that. So I'm pretty sure it took up a lot of his time. So I think now that he's done with season 4, I think he may be able to jump into Lando now, or maybe take the summer off like everyone else is, then jump back into Lando. Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's a super underrated talent in Hollywood.
Yes.
I mean, you just said it. I mean, writes, directs, show runs. He's also
he's a musician. He's
He
also a
raps.
stand-up comedian.
He's
He's
a stand-up comedian.
also, I
He's been
mean,
on TV. He's done film.
he's won Grammys. He's won Emmys. He's won. I remember I saw this article. And it was a few years ago too, and he's accomplished more since then. But they were just kind of like he's like one of those underrated celebrities that nobody really talks about. All the accomplishments he's already done are insane. Like most celebrities couldn't do it in their lifetime, and he's already done it by this age. They need a big budget for Lando. Yes, they do. It would be so cool. But
You know what would be cool if they kicked off Celebration with a new series of Calrissian Chronicles, and they just drop it like out of context, and everyone's just like freaking out. Like, is Lando happening? But
yeah, I'm wondering. I want that that panel where they just bring everybody out, and they're just like, we're just gonna show you what's about to happen for Star Wars, and because a lot of it, and I know I've said this before, I think a lot of it we didn't get it before was because they were just trying to get that sequel trilogy out. They were just trying to get that final three Star Wars movies out. And now that they're out, now it feels like Lucasfilm, Kennedy, and all them can finally just be like, here we go. Do we think the Lando show would be about? I think it would be really cool if they, before Ray goes on, I think it would be really cool if they did a back and forth type of Lando show to show them in the future with trying to find the homes for all the children who were taken away, but then also showing the past and showing the two different characters of Lando, almost like a Godfather.
yeah, from Lando's birth to Episode 9. I dig it.
Okay, so Ray, what you got for us?
Okay, so first it's the Namrellew, Namrellew, and they are carrying large quantities of Redden sugar, Carlini tea, and Canadian rum. And then, on literally the page before that, is the character Ida is singing a song. It was an unreasonably upbeat song about a family of large predatory fish.
Oh no. Oh no. They did it.
It's half in basic and half in chirps.
I feel like
Baby Shark.
I feel like Charlton Heston at the end of Planet of the Apes. You did it. You blew it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's worse, the fact that Coca-Cola is canon in Star Wars or the fact that Baby Shark is now canon in Star Wars. Like oh my gosh. Oh.
But I mean, without spoiling too much, I do have to say I will never get over the fact that when Anakin and Sabe meet, Sabe's pretending to be Padme, and apparently Anakin notices because his first thought is to go right for force choking and try to kill her. So as soon as Anakin sees Sabe, he's like, "Where's Padme?" and goes for the kill.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, if that is not Anakin in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to pick. I have so many books I have to read, but I read what was the first book in the series? Came out a few years ago. What was it called?
The first one, so in release order, it's Queen's Shadow, Queen's Peril, Queen's Hope. Chronologically, it's Queen's Peril, Queen's Shadow, Queen's Hope.
They Star Wars it and did it out of order.
Yeah, so Queen's Shadow takes place I think just before the events of episode 2. Queen's Peril takes place just before and during episode 1, and then Queen's Hope takes place between episode, or it picks up at the end of episode 2, but before episode 3.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, one of these days when Ray's not crazy busy, she will do a book review and lay out all the cool stuff about those books. Vader mimicking Austin Powers. This is me in a nutshell. Oh my goodness, how did I get stuck in this shell and it's just a nut? Oh my gosh, how big is this thing? Yeah, that's
we have
great.
a streak now of podcasts with Austin Powers references, I guess.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked about Austin. You and I did Austin Powers. We talked about it on our Patreon episode.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing. But all right. Anything else for the day, David?
I think that's all I had.
That's
Unless anyone
all.
else has anything.
Ray, do you have anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to us. And please be sure to hit us up on Instagram, on Facebook. We have a Facebook group as well as a Facebook page. Follow us there on Twitter as well. And if you want to hit us up on Patreon, there it is, Star Wars Stuff Podcast 2187. So I'll go on there a few times with David, and we'll just chat about Star Wars, and it's a lot of fun. It's mostly David asking me really weird questions and me having to answer them. And that's pretty
Yeah,
much
we get
what that
really
is.
weird, guys.
It gets really strange, but don't worry, I'm not giving away any crazy secrets, okay? And then after that, but yeah, make sure to subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and we have a Twitch channel, which I'm still trying to figure Twitch out. I feel like I sound like an old man whenever I talk about, we have a Twitch channel. I have to figure this one out. But yeah, and also leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Rate and give us a review on Apple Podcast. That helps us out. And yeah,
Also
thank
on
you.
Spotify.
Yeah, you can review
yeah,
on Spotify.
Yes, you can review. Do we have any reviews on Spotify or no? Nobody's listening to us.
I think it's just the star rating. You can't really write out anything unless they
man.
changed it.
Bunch of jerks. But yeah, and also go back, go read some of our reviews because some of them are quite great.
Apparently, I wanted to say yes, give a big shout out and thank you to the people that are going onto Apple and writing the reviews. It's very insightful. There was a review stating that there was a father and son who would take long road trips and just listen to our podcast, and that would be entertaining for the both of them, and that would pass the time. And that's awesome. I love to hear that type of stuff. And the one from way back where the single father is with his kids and he prepares dinner and he has the podcast playing while they're preparing dinner for the weekday. I mean, that's great stuff.
Makes me happy that people enjoy listening to us talk. But yes, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back with another awesome topic. And may the force be with you.
Always.
Always.